Hello, everyone, and welcome to the session. And as part of this session, you'll understand what are the unique selling propositions that we as 360DigiTMG has, which will help you all land in a job with ease. Let's see on what we have in store for today's discussion. I would be sharing my screen, and first of all, I'll introduce myself to you all so that you get a sense on who I am. And then we will delve deeper into the topics that we're going to learn as part of the session. This is me. My name is Bharani Kumar Depuru. I am CEO and founder of two companies. One is called as AiSPRY and another is 360DigiTMG. And I'm also recently appointed as a chairperson for AI implementation for Indian transportation system. It's called as the Intelligent Transportation System. However, that's how it is named. Okay? And I'm initially working on Indian road transportation system. And I'm very glad that I'll be working with Government of India and I'll be working closely with Prime Minister's office in coming up with the framework for AI implementation in Indian road transportation system. I have close to 20 years of experience and I have two master's degrees. One is from IIT and another is from Indian School of Business. I worked with companies such as HSBC, ITC, Infotech, Infosys, and Deloitte. Post that, we formed our own company in the space of AI services, and that is called as AiSPRY. I'm also CEO and Managing Director at 360DigiTMG. I'm also a visiting faculty at Indian School of Business. Those of you who are wondering on, hey, what is this Indian School of Business? Let me show you ranking of AiSPRY. AiSPRY is ranked as #1 in India. Okay, and it's ranked in #6 position when it comes to LinkedIn. And it is also ranked in 31st position in Financial Times across the globe. So these are a few things about Indian School of Business. Hope that motivates you enough that a qualified person is conducting this session. We have 182 people and we have our offices in different countries. And we also have our office in Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Chennai, Pune, Bhilai, Raipur in Chhattisgarh. And also we have our offices in Odisha and we have our offices in a few other places. Globally, we also have our office in Malaysia, and that is to cater to the ASEAN market. The beauty with us is that we have a lot of projects that we have already accomplished as part of AiSPRY for a few of the leading companies, for a few of the Fortune 500 companies. Hindustan Coca-Cola Beverages is one of our clients, Korean Airlines, Yatra, Volvo Trucks, Avianca, IVS Japan, Tata Trust. We have done projects for all of these customers in the past. And we also have a methodology which we follow to do our AI projects. And the first and foremost thing is understanding the business problem. This is the most important part. We will help you understand how to collect the data, where should you store the data, how do you process the data, how do you do research, how do you build your machine learning algorithms on AWS GPUs. GPU stands for graphical processing units. Whenever you want to work on any sizable project, you would end up spending somewhere between $3,000 to $8,000. And the best part is we are going to help you get access to these GPU machines when you work on real world projects so that you get an opportunity to understand how you store the data on cloud, how do you take it into the cloud environment itself and then train your model and ultimately deploy the model on production. These are a few things that you will learn. We have Amazon as one of our big customers. Whenever people place an order for high value items such as say iPhone, some people, okay, not everyone, supposedly what they are doing is they're opening the box, they are removing the phone, original phone, and they are replacing that with a duplicate phone and then closing the seal as if it's company sealed and then returning the product to Amazon. Amazon at the return center cannot open it because it's already sealed. Okay. And if at all you want to understand what is there inside, is that original phone or duplicate phone? Is there a brick inside or not? Did someone, change the internal circuit as well? Okay. All these things you'll be able to identify if you have an X-ray machine. So you will understand end-to-end implementation. And we also take our students for client visit so that they understand on what is the business flow and how do we ideally end up, identifying the business problems. In that way, these are all our students whom we have taken to a company called as Surana Group, where they manufacture aluminium. Okay. These are our students along with the doctor, and they have visited this particular fertility center in Chennai because we are working on embryo project. Biologically Limited, which is roughly 4,000 crore company, is one of our clients. We do projects for Singapore Land Transportation Authority, and we take our students for client visit. If suppose you didn't get an opportunity to visit for various reasons, maybe you're a working professional, or maybe you're staying in a different location and you didn't get a chance. What we do is we also, with the customer consent, of course, we record a few things and we explain you the process end to end. When you understand the process end to end on what are the machines, what are the raw materials which are fed into those machines, and how do you even get the data pertaining to IoT sensors from the machines? And then what happens throughout the process? You would be a transformed person, right? For every job opening, hundreds of people are applying for jobs. Why is it that your resume should be shortlisted? Your resume would be shortlisted only if you demonstrate that you worked on the real world projects. And then your resume will get shortlisted. Once it is shortlisted, when you talk to the interviewers, you can talk about the entire process. And then customers will be, or the interviewer will truly be impressed. And they will have some trust on you that you have worked on real world projects. Please don't work on dummy projects or Kaggle projects. It will not help you in identifying the business problem, collecting the data, deploying the model in production, and the entire methodology you will not be in a position to understand if you work on competition websites. And getting the job is a far off case, right? Kaggle competitions are meant to reward those people who get the highest accuracy. They define the problem, they give you the data, which is very clean. All you need to do is download and start working on it. And that would by no means give you an opportunity to get a job. Forget about, getting your resume shortlisted. Okay, it would not happen. Okay, and JSW Steel, I recently visited the plant, and this is called as kiln. And in that kiln, you have a lot of reactions which happen, and this is the inside of that, where you have some layer which is being formed, which will not allow the heat to pass through. So you have to go in and then break it. Can we use AI to detect the formation of accretion inside the kiln? Is something that we have to think through. Okay. And then the first thing is collecting the data. The second thing is storing the data in the right storage. You might want to store the data in a database or a data warehouse or a data lake or a data lakehouse. Unless you have knowledge about these things, you will not be in a position to extract the data, pull the data, and then do meaningful analysis. But when you do analysis, the first thing is descriptive analytics, business intelligence reporting and dashboarding. A lot of people assume that if the user interface, the look and feel is good, then customer would be impressed. That is not the case, my dear friends. First of all, you need to get the organization chart. You need to understand what are the various departments that exist. And you need to go to each and every department and then collect the requirements. When you collect the requirements in user story format. That means who are you? What do you want? And why do you want it? As a sales manager, who are you? What do you want? I want to get the sales details across different locations. And why? Maybe because I want to reward those people who are doing a good job. And I want to also train those people who are not doing a good job. In this way, you collect the requirements. When you collect the requirements in this way, people will actually think through on what requirement they need and why do they need that. Then you collect all of those and create interesting business intelligence reports and dashboards. Either you can use Microsoft Power BI, or you might want to use Tableau, or you might want to use Click, or you might want to use Python. But you perform descriptive analytics. You report on what happened until now. This is one of the appreciation letter that we received from Biological E Limited from the Senior Vice President for the BI reporting and dashboarding work that we did. And we also did some forecasting work. The reason why I'm showing you all these things is because of two reasons. One, I want to instill confidence in y'all that you will be working on real world projects. A. B, I also want to show you how big these clients are. Say Biological E Limited. And it is, I believe, 4,000 crore approximately. Yeah, I'm close to that. I'm not boasting of about these big companies, but I'm telling you that if you work for a big company, if a big company is your customer, then you can get a lot of projects. It's not one-off projects, right? Multiple projects. That means continuously AiSPRY will be bringing in a lot of projects, and people who get trained through 360DigiTMG will get an opportunity to work on these kind of projects. Second is predictive analytics. In predictive analytics, how will you identify the business problems? You need to first of all understand the entire value chain. Who are the suppliers or vendors? What kind of inputs or services do they provide? After you take those inputs, how do you process it? What is the output? And who is going to consume it? SIPOC, supplier input, process output, and consumers. Once you understand the entire value chain, now you can also add ESG. Everyone is talking about that. Environmental social governance. For example, if you're manufacturing something, how are you ensuring that you use reusable components? How are you ensuring that you discharge the waste in a manner that it doesn't impact the environment negatively? How do you filter out the poisonous gases which are getting released? Right? All these things are coming into picture. That's AI and ESG. And any company should abide by a lot of regulatory norms. So we also consider those aspects, and then we identify a lot of business opportunities to implement AI solutions and for data analytics. And this is for a specific client called Super Shakti in West Bengal, where we forecast, on how much quantity of coal should they procure from UK, South Africa, Indonesia, etc. They procure coal, iron ore, dolomite, etc. from all these countries. And you don't just forecast how many tons of coal or iron ore would be needed, but you also forecast what would be the price for the next 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, so on and so forth. And if you can know what will be the price of raw materials moving forward, you will select, that day when the prices will be really low in the future, and then procure or purchase a lot of coal, thereby reducing the procurement cost. You can also determine how many tons should you procure from each of these countries. Okay. And we also considered a lot of external factors. such as GDP, inflation, um, crude price, stock value, labor laws, sustainability laws, etc. And why do you need to collect all those requirements? Because we need to understand which external factor will impact the prices. Suppose there is a region and you're doing mining, coal mining. And if you're about to enter into the forest reserve area, then government of those countries will stop coal mining. Then you'll have demand supply gap. And then the prices of coal might go up. Until and unless you know all these aspects, you cannot claim that you worked on real world projects, right? For this purpose, you need to have knowledge of these things. And we forecasted what are the raw materials which are needed for manufacturing certain items. This is for biologically limited. We look at how much time does it take for one to place an order. Say you place an order and your department internally within your company say they take 2 days to raise an invoice to a vendor, and the vendor takes say 1 day to supply. You have to consider all these aspects before you give some meaningful inputs to your customers, to your different stakeholders. And then in that way, we also did a forecasting project to forecast the spice prices. There is a person in Nepal who purchases spices from India and sells these in Nepal. If at all this person knows that the prices of spices will go down on certain days, then they'll buy the spices and then they'll store it in their inventory. We also did projects for a client called as Leap. Leap is into pallet manufacturing. If you're wondering on what is this pallet, these are the pallets, right? So we manufacture pallets, they manufacture pallets, and we forecast how many pallets will say Instacart or Flipkart or Myntra, etc., will place an order from this company. If you know upfront, you can adjust your manufacturing process accordingly. Okay. Of course, I'm quickly explaining all these things, but there is a lot of other thought process and finer nuances which go into accomplishing such projects. Once you have the raw materials, you process it using your machines, right? We did a project for a machine called as Prima 13. This is a machine from a company called as Schnell Group. Schnell Group is a German-based company which manufactures this Prima 13. And we built a prediction model to predict whether a machine will fail or not. Okay. And when will it fail? Will the machine fail in 24 hours or 48 hours? If a machine is going to fail, and if there is 90% probability that it will fail in the next 24 hours, then what components of that machine will fail? So that the technician who gets the SMS alert can directly go to that particular machine, look at those components which are most likely to fail and fix them. And this information, you can also give it to their inventory management team, who will buy only these key components which are most likely to fail and keep it in their inventory so that the inventory cost also gets reduced eventually. We also do projects in the space of wind turbine failure prediction, etc. Then we do projects in the space of computer vision. This is a project for a client called as Hira Group in Raipur, which is a 20,000 crore company. And we fly drones at a specific altitude. And how should you fly the drone? Because it's 150-acre solar plant. In one charge, the drone cannot cover entire 150 acres. How many acres will it cover? What kind of camera should you have? What kind of multispectral camera should you have? All these things you will learn. Of course, we also learned and then we did these projects. And it will detect. Once you capture the images from these drones, you supply it to your AI algorithm, which will then determine whether a panel has a physical damage or electrical damage, or is there excessive dust or a bird drop. All of these things will reduce the energy production. So we fixed this. We did a project for a client which is into steel pipe manufacturing, where From CCTV, you look at all this scrap and determine where you have cylinders or shock absorbers which are flammable. These, this scrap, these material will go into a burning furnace. Burning furnace will have 1700 degrees Celsius at temperature. If you put a flammable item, explodable item, and if it explodes, it's like a small bomb. And then it will kill the people surrounding. And then police people will come, government officials will come, people might go on a strike, your workers might go on strike, right? So we are using the CCTV determine what kind of flammable and explodable items exist in this particular uh, scrap yard, basically. So when we put your model in IoT device or in CCTV or on a mobile device, it's called as edge-based deployment. So you need to understand how to compress the model and how to put it on edge device so that your solution starts working. This is a project that we have done for Volvo, where if a person is following a specific process, this is a fixture, this person is coming and he's going to put the engine chassis on the fixture, and this person is going to close the clamp. If a wrong clamping sequence is followed, our solution, which is put into IoT device, which is installed on the ceiling, will real-time detect whether right clamping sequence is followed or not. If incorrect clamping sequence is followed, quickly we determine and we glow the entire floor in red color, which is an indication for the supervisor and worker that something is going wrong. Of course, you'll have LED diode lights, which will glow the floor in red color. We did a project for one of the customers in Bhubaneswar. They are one of the largest steel distributors. You just take your mobile, we put the AI solution within the mobile and just walk around. You just walk around the inventory and it will quickly give you a count on how many 8mm, 10mm, and 12mm steel rods exist. Isn't that cool? Yeah. We don't just do that. We also build Gen AI solutions. For example, in this case, we built a generative AI solution like your chat GPT, for example, and you can ask questions on that particular chatbot. You can ask questions on, hey, how many 8mm steel rods do I have in inventory? And then immediately it will convert that into SQL query, go fetch the data from the database and display the results to the end users. We did projects in the space of construction where people take these construction drawings and they manually look at it and manually update the details in Excel sheet. They manually create something called as BBS, bar bending schedule. All these terminologies, the domain knowledge, etc., you will learn only if you work on real world projects. And when you explain about these things in interviews, job done. People will be floored, right? They'll feel extremely happy and then they'll instantly hire you. So from that drawing, details such as shape, weight, number of bars, number of elements, diameter of the bar, everything is extracted and it puts it into Excel sheet. We did projects in the space of poultry also, where we determine from the images, what is the age of the chick, what is the body temperature of the chick from this thermal sensor, and we determine and we send an SMS alert to the farm owner the moment the chicks attain, say 1.7 kgs or so. So the farm owner will save on the feed that they give to the chicks. And they can start the new farm immediately rather than waiting for entire 40 days. Okay, this is for a client called as Dr. Reddy's. If you're wondering on how big is Dr. Reddy's, it's I think 28,000 crore company, big company. So we'll have a lot of project opportunities there. They manufacture vials and pre-filled syringes. And what we do is instead of people manually counting how many vials and how many pre-filled syringes exist, you can put it under a CCTV. Just by taking an image of that, you can count how many vials, how many pre-filled syringes exist, and you again store it in the backend database. And the same process continues. Because now we are living in the world of generative AI, we built a solution wherein we gave them a user interface like ChatGPT. When you ask questions such as, how many vials did I manufacture in the last 6 days? You can also ask in Hindi or Telugu language, right? You can ask, कितने pre-filled syringes मैंने पिछले 7 महीने में manufacture किया? It will convert this Hindi text into English, English to SQL query, fetch the data and give the results. So these are a few interesting and innovative projects we worked on. Now, when you work on these kind of projects, A, you'll gain immense confidence. B, the moment you put these kind of projects on resume, your resume will get shortlisted. As I've told you, for every job, hundreds of people are applying. Just think on why your resume should be shortlisted. Okay. Then we also work in the space of pipe detection, where the moment pipes are loaded onto the truck, you take a photo, immediately it will count how many steel pipes and what shape steel pipes exist, and it will quickly compare with the backend invoicing system. How many pipes did the customer place an order for, and how many pipes are there on the truck? If these two are in sync, then there will be a green signal and the truck can leave the premise. Also, one of the big customers from Germany called Siemens is one of our customers. There are a lot of small manufacturers who manufacture these kind of components and they supply it to Siemens. What Siemens does is they'll assemble all these and come up with switchgear, cabinet, etc. And after the assembling is done, all these components, they put it in a bag, tie it, and put it into inventory. And then no one has a clue on how many components are lying in the inventory. So we built a solution wherein our AI solution that we built will automatically detect these items, detect the parts, and store the details in the backend database. Many. This is one of the appreciations that we received when the German team from Siemens visited the India office, and they were really very happy with the solution that we built. In that way, we do projects in a lot of settings. For example, workplace safety. This is on a clean room. People have to wear the face shield, goggles, mask, gloves, etc. The pose that they exhibit also is detected real time. And we create a compliance dashboard. Who are the employees who are not following the process? So that the process team can train them and ensure that those kind of slippages are reduced. In the space of road safety, we did a lot of projects. We did projects in the space of ESG also. This is for Tamil Nadu Paper Limited, where you can take the satellite images, and from the satellite images, you can determine whether trees such as casuarina, eucalyptus are fully grown. Are they ripe to be harvested or not? Every pixel here on the screen that you're seeing is equivalent to 1 square meter on ground. So you determine what is the length of the branch, and then you determine from the length of the branch, what is the trunk size. And then you determine whether it is advisable to harvest the trees or not. Okay. We also do projects in the space of life sciences healthcare. People who don't have kids, they go for a treatment called as IVF, in vitro fertilization, where you take sperm from male, oocyte from female, fertilize outside to form embryo. This embryo is implanted into the woman's womb. And then woman will realize after a few weeks whether she's pregnant or not. If she's not pregnant, they'll clean the womb and cycle 2 repeats, which is costly, right? 1.25 lakhs to 2.25 or 2.5 lakhs is what it's going to cost you, depending on the hospital you go to or fertility center you go to. So what we have done is we have built a solution, and embryologists, MBBS and MD, specialized in embryology, they will take the microscopic images and upload to our solution. And our solution will quickly determine on what is the viability score of the embryo. And if it is good, only then doctors will go ahead and implant the embryo into the woman's womb. We did a lot of generative AI projects also in the space of healthcare, where People usually forget what is the treatment protocol that has to be given. Yeah, usually they forget. Sorry. Yeah. Ah, sorry about that. I thought it would play. Okay, anyways. So if you're moving a patient from one specialty to another specialty, what are the different treatment protocols that have to be followed? It's humanly very difficult to remember all the, processes that have to be followed for the healthcare professionals, especially. So our solution will, which is a Gen AI solution, will help you quickly ask a query in your native language, in Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, whatever, and then it will translate that into English and then go fetch the data and give you the results. So you don't miss out on any critical treatment protocol because you're dealing with the lives of people. We did projects for Indian government, Uttarakhand government also. We did projects in the space of pharma and many other projects. Right? For example, Pandro, which is a French railway equipment manufacturing company, is one of our customers. Right? We did a tender price prediction model for them. In the space of cement, we did projects for a company called as Vicat, which is again a French cement manufacturing company. And we built a model to determine the quality of the cement, to forecast the demand. We did projects in the space of ESG for a person who is working with Delhi urban local bodies. For a dermatologist, we did this project where you take the photo of the face, and based on your face color and texture, etc., it will determine what kind of cosmetics are needed for you or what kind of skin treatment should be given. If you take the photo of your scalp hair, it will tell you what kind of hair transplantation treatment has to be given. Tata Hitachi is our client. Road safety, we are anyways working. Indian Railways, we are doing projects for them. We do projects for a lot of sports betting companies. In Europe, there is this company called as FEG, which is third largest sports betting company. We are doing projects for them. How much bonus should you give to the players so that you maximize the stake, right? That's the project. Pharmacy, medicine, drugs forecasting. And the best part is, whenever our students of 360 DigiTMG work on these kind of projects, we choose the top 3 students and we ensure that their names are also included in the international journal where we publish our project details. Just imagine, I always keep telling that for every job opening, you'll have hundreds of people applying. But if someone looks at your resume and figures out that there are real world projects and your projects are also published on international journal, then the confidence will go up. Confidence will go up and they'll quickly shortlist your profile. And when you talk in interviews, since you worked on real world project, you can talk with ease. And there are a lot of awards and accolades that we keep winning year on year, every year. And that is how we grow, right? This is a mark of our excellence and achievement, I should say. And this is AiSPRY LinkedIn QR code. If you have mobiles, just scan it and you can follow us. A lot of interesting projects we keep posting on our social media for your consumption. All right. Having spoken about all these things, there are a lot of people who are getting trained, but they're not getting jobs. For them, we came up with this exclusive program where there are 3 different plans. Yeah, it wasn't writing, so I was just wondering. Plan one. If you want to work on any one project, okay, work on one project end to end, along with our team of data specialists. So you'll understand the project management methodology. You'll get an opportunity to work on AWS, GPUs, and then you get to see how we conduct client meetings and all that. If you want to work on one project, it will cost you 15,000 Indian rupees, plus of course GST. That's it. There ends the story, right? And also you get a project certificate, which you can post on social media and everywhere else. on your resume also. Plan 2, you get to work on 5 projects. Okay. Plus, you get project certificates for all the 5 projects, for all projects. Okay. And also, you get to use AWS GPU machines. You work alongside our team of data specialists. You'll be there in the client meetings and you gain this experience. Right? So for this, we charge you 58,000 plus GST. And what are these 5 projects? Project 1 will be on forecasting. Project 2 will be on traditional prediction models. Traditional prediction models. Project 3 would be object detection. Project 4 will be image classification. Project 5 will be generative AI with agentic AI. This is one big thing which every job description more or less is having. So we'll give you opportunity on all these things. Third plan, which is the most recommended, is plan 2. That is, you work on all the 5 projects. You get project certificates for all the projects. You get to work on AWS GPU machines. You get to work on all the variants of projects. So you can say that no matter what the business problem is, I will be able to solve it for you. Plus, you also get Gen AI diploma certificate from State University of New York, USA. This is the largest university in US. And this diploma certificate will be valid for your lifetime. If you want to go and do masters in any of the state university affiliated colleges in US, you'll be given scholarship, which will be more than the regular scholarship because you successfully did this diploma program. Plus, you'll also be eligible for paid internship, where we pay you 15,000 per month for 3 months. And why do we do this? We do this because whichever company you go and apply jobs for, they'll ask for 3 months pay slip and 3 months bank statement. To some extent, this will help you. Yeah. Plus, one more very important thing is you get your project, one of these projects published on international journal. Publish on international journal. These are the bunch of benefits that you get. And do you know what? We also have our job portal. Let me go here to 360DigiTMG. Let me go to jobs, where we post all the jobs that we get to know through our partnered companies, through AiSPRY, and a lot of people got jobs in different companies like Google. Let me open this. Google, ENY, people who have done BA also have got jobs. People got jobs in different companies in overseas market, like Al-Shaya, etc. If you're wondering, hey, what is this Al-Shaya Middle East company, Dubai-based company? If you want to take franchisee of, say, Starbucks, American Eagle, Victoria's Secret, H&M, etc., in Europe and Middle East, it has to go through Al-Shaya. It's that big a company. TCS, ITC, Infotech, Amazon, HCL, Flipkart, Capgemini. You just see it, friends. You'll be just blown away. All these are our alumni who got jobs. And whenever there are openings in their companies, they let us know. And we quickly post it on our jobs portal. Okay, not just this, we have people working in almost all the IT-based companies, Infosys, TCS, Wipro, HCL, you name it. Not one, not two, multiple people are working in each of the companies. And if you look at Big Four companies, we boast about this that our people are working in all the Big Four companies, Deloitte, EY, KPMG, PwC. Whenever there are job openings, they let us know. Alongside that, we also conduct a lot of leadership talks, almost weekly, two or three. And we have people working in Tiger Analytics, Accenture, EAG, Nokia, Accenture, Wissen, Turing, DBS, you name it, Deloitte, Microsoft, etc. So these people, after this leadership talk, in which they talk about how should people prepare to get a job in this field of data science and AI, and also they let us know if there are any openings in their companies. So we once again come back to our job portal and publish the details. And there are a lot of learning resources as well, especially Resume Optimization Hub, which will help create your resume, which can be easily shortlisted. And many, many other things you will learn as part of this program. Hope this gave you good insights. Okay. And feel free to reach out to us, and our team of data specialists will reach out to you and give you more inputs and more insights on how you can crack a job and get into the field of data analytics and data science. Thank you so much.